Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Money. Today, I want to talk about something that bugged me even when I was 20. And that is the different strategies for investment and savings by age. Now, I'll tell you why it bugged me. Even when I was young and everybody was giving advice on strategies, I kept thinking, how does a 30-year-old person determine what is the proper thing to do for a 60-year-old person? You're guessing. I've lived through all three of these age groups that I'm going to talk about today, so I know what I'm talking about. All right? Okay. The first age group is the 18 to 40 year age group. And as you might guess, you have time on your side in this category, so be aggressive. And if you have somebody to help you or to guide you, or you're willing to seek out the help, this is the perfect time in your life to live like a poor college kid and save every penny you can. I mean every penny, and if that means eating ramen noodles for 5 years, then that's what you go do. And I would save every penny. I would drive a junker. I would couch surf. I would do whatever it is I could to save every penny, and I would invest every penny I could. Now, what investment do you put it in? Well, it really depends on your personality. I mean, if you just want to save money, put it in an S&P 500 index fund or put it in the market. If you want to save to build wealth, then I would put it into real estate. Once you get into real estate, then I would let the cash flow from the real estate pay for one or two more investment types. As an example, let's say you bought a house at the age of 21, a little rental house. And this little rental house generates $400 a month cash flow. All right? I would take $200 of that. I mean, first you need to build up a savings cushion to help build with, because you have to be able to do repairs and cover vacancies and all of that. Once you get that done, that ought to take a year or two. When you get done with that, then I would take $200 of the cash flow and put it towards an S&P 500 index fund. And I would take the other two and I would either put it into another mutual fund, or I'd put it directly into the market. Just depends on what your personality type is. My point is, in this group, you be super aggressive. Super aggressive. Because this is the time, I mean, worst case scenario, you lose everything and big deal. I mean, you still got 40 years. So be aggressive. Now, the next age group is 40 to 55. Now, in this age group, as a general rule, you've got family responsibilities. You've got a career that you're worried about. You've got bills, and I get it. I get it. And I think this is the ideal group that I would go do the Dave Ramsey method, and I would work on paying down my credit, learning to live a little bit frugally as the kids prepare to leave the house, start making plans to downsize. This is a preparation stage. This is we've got some savings, we did a little bit, we saved a little bit, we got a nice house. Now let's get ready for retirement. And if you did things well along the way, you should have some assets. I mean, you should have a house that's somewhere on the road to being paid off. You might have some investments or some retirement accounts. And these are all good things. If you have nothing, and it took every penny you had to raise your family and do all of that, that's okay. It's not too late. But you do need to start getting prepared. Because at some point, you're going to have to kick your savings into high gear, and you're going to have to become frugal. Which means, if you're married, your spouse is going to need to get on board, and you both need to be working on this at the same time. Because if one of you is a spender and one of you are savers, you will never have anything. I've lived with both. I'm a saver, and if you live with the spender, no matter how good you think you are at saving, they will outspend you every time. And that ain't no joke. So, if you can figure a way around that, that's great. If you can't, you've survived this long without it, I guess you'll survive the rest of the way. So the 18 to 40 is super aggressive. 40 to 55 is a little bit more conservative, but a preparation stage. Now these two, most people agree with. I would say most investment counselors would agree with that. The next one, 55 and up, I'm going to surprise you here. And this is the group that I'm in. I want you to become aggressive again. Because now you're in your peak earning years. You should have less bills than you did when you were raising your family. And you might be on your own. But if you did the last stage, like I said, and you were getting prepared, now at the age of 55-ish, it's time to kick it into high gear. Get frugal. Learn about different ways to make and invest money. Go back to living like a college student. Live as cheaply as you can. And that doesn't mean just temporarily. I mean, once you achieve whatever goal it is you want, it's okay to enjoy life a little bit. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is it does no good to enjoy life if after you quit work you got no place to live. So you need to take care of the basics. You need to think about income after you retire. Where are you going to live? How much money? And here's the strategy that I find will work. When I turned 55, I had nothing. I didn't even own the furniture in my house. And I wasn't making very much money at all. But what I did learn is that I could make cash back from credit cards. So I took the money from that and I put it into a mutual fund. Not a lot, but at least I had a strategy going. By the time I turned 60, I had a few $1,000s in the mutual fund. Not a lot, but some. Then I got a raise, I did a little money, then I went and bought a little piece of property. And that little piece of property generated some cash flow, and that cash flow on top of what I was saving, we saved some money, we bought another house. All right? Be aggressive. Now, does that mean you just keep buying and buying and buying? No. You buy till you're comfortable with what your goals are. If your goal is to build wealth, then figure out a way that you can do this long term. And just some things to think about would be, as you get older, let the professionals be the professionals. I did a video on this. Let your realtors go find your properties and rent them out. Find a property management company that'll manage them for you. Find a maintenance guy that'll take care of them for you. Let the professionals be the professionals. That was a message that took me a long time to learn. As long as you're working and earning money, you reinvest every penny you make at this stage. You invest it right back into the properties. And this stage is pretty much like the 18 to 40-year-old. You live as frugally as you can. You buy all the assets you can, and not just with your money. Get your first piece of property. Invest every penny from that. If you're doing cash-back credit cards, invest every penny of that. If you're doing a side job, invest every penny of that. Just keep throwing it back into the investment and buying either real estate or financial instruments of some kind, stocks, bonds, whatever you're comfortable with, but invest every penny. And the end goal is not the same as when you were 18 to 40. 18 to 40 is the time when you're accumulating assets so that as you go through your life, you can slowly build and make wealth. What you're doing now is you're taking every penny you can and investing towards the eye of retirement, whatever age that is for you. My goal is, right now we're buying little properties along the way to help me to save more money quicker. So that just before I retire, I'm going to buy a nice duplex in a nice area and live in half of it for free. And that's how I'm going to survive if I live long enough. When I retire, I will live in half of a duplex. I will be doing it for free. And winner, chicken dinner, I'll have 4 or 5 properties along the way to provide some income in addition to Social Security. So I'll be all right. I'll be all right. But I didn't really get started until I was at 55, 56 years old, and then all I did was cash credit card, and we've built from there. My point is, be aggressive and try really hard to get your mate on board, because the more on board they are, the more you can save. Because trust me, at 55, after raising a family and being able to go do the things you want, when you want, and how you want, and then all of a sudden to become frugal is a lot different at 55 and 60 than it is at 18. At 18, you've just moved out from mom and dad's, you're getting a job, it's all fun and games, eat ramen noodles, no big deal. All right? It's a huge life adjustment, and you're going to have to get your partner on the same page. Well, just to recap, 18 to 40-year-olds, be aggressive, live like you're poor, invest every penny you can, and reinvest any money that you make into different asset classes. 40 to 55, raise your family, learn to do it as inexpensively as you can, but live up to your responsibilities, and then what you have left, you save. And do it the best you can, and again, work on getting your spouse on the same page as you, or your partner. And 55 and up, it's back to being super aggressive. The kids are gone, it's you and your spouse, or you by yourself. Be aggressive, only the goal this time is not to build wealth unless you want to. The goal is to be prepared for retirement in 10 or 15 years. And whatever that takes, go do that. That's about all I wanted to say. You guys have a great day, a great week, and happy investing.